They try to drown me. I can swim upstream so profoundly. I can stay calm in a dire situation. I'm at it every day, no time for a vacation. And I smell blood in the water. Everything I do, yeah, I do it for my daughters. Now I'm gonna shut your lips. It's time for a brand new episode of what? We talking jit, say what? We talking jit, say what? We talking jit, say what? We talking jit, said it's time for a brand new episode of Talking Jit.
What's up, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, doing great, brother. How are you?
Doing good. Sounds like you're living the life out there.
Man, honestly, yeah, I love my life, man, every day.
How's your beach day going?
It's going good, man. We hit the beach yesterday, too. I make sure to get out there with my family at least like 3 to 4 hours a day, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But today I'm trying to like just chill a little bit more, you know, tune out a little bit more.
Relax. Yeah, after just looking at your social media, dude, you seem like a really busy guy.
Oh, yeah. Extremely busy, but thank God it's like doing things I enjoy, you know?
Yeah, and that's the dream. That's what I meant. That's what I was kind of enviously saying to you.
100%. But it looks like you got a couple hustles in the process as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Shoes,
yeah,
right? Shoes?
Yeah, I do the custom shoes. Slowed down a bit since I've had my daughter. I gave up my office/studio to be her bedroom, so I kind of have like a little corner in my room designated for it now.
Understood. That's more a dog, a billion times more important than a shoe is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, me personally, I'm kind of in the process. Like I have like an 8 to 5 job right now.
Okay.
And then I got like another job after that. It's like one of my old business clients that I still kept around because they treat me really well.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of riding that out and stacking for a few years until, I'm either ready to make another run or another opportunity comes my way.
Are you able to do the 8 to 5 at home, or do you go to the office?
I have to go to the office.
But are you there today?
I'm here today, yeah.
Oh, cool. But you can still do a call like this at the office?
Yeah, I just step out for like a lunch break.
Yeah, that's tight, man. Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you do it, man. You got to do it all. You know what I'm saying? You got to hustle and grind, especially to get where you want to get to, like what you're saying, like that plan you have, you know?
Yeah, so it seems like you've kind of turned like your hobby or passion into a career/careers.
I mean, yeah, it depends which one you're talking about. But, bro, at one point I owned like 11 different LLCs. And over the last 3 years, I kind of like just realized there's certain ones I didn't want anymore. Like I have a page called KSEF Industries, and you'll see on there I own hookah lounges, everything from hookah lounges to gyms but the last 3 years I've just really stepped back and just like sold off like most of my businesses and was like, you know what, I don't even want to do that anymore, because half the things I was doing was trying to be cool and trying to live to the world standards, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I've realized I've really taken what I love in life, and that's my family, that's MMA and jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai and the Bible and music, and just really made that my life now. That's why you see, I have a studio back in Maryland. I have for the podcast, for videography, for photography, all that stuff. And then I have the 2 gyms, MMA and sport. Then I have KSF Entertainment, where we have like DJs that do weddings and all that good stuff, and branding of businesses and all that. I have the podcast that you saw that I started about 4 months ago, and I'm loving that. And you know how that is, because you get to have great conversations with people,
Dude, it's just so fun. I'm just doing it completely for fun and to keep me sane. And I get to talk to so many people already, and it's small, and it's still really cool to talk to people, learn, get an idea of their mindset and
how that
got them where they are.
It really makes a big difference, and it really it's connections, number one, for the future. It's also good conversation to grow for future things you want to do as well. So in a way, it's like a meeting, you know what I'm saying? Every time you get somebody on these podcasts, you're learning, as long as it's like good stuff, you know what I'm saying? Not just stupid stuff. But it seems like you focus on like really important, conversations. So yeah, man, I think it's awesome that you're doing that, and cool, you know what I'm saying? Is the podcast started? Do you have like a certain thing you want to do it? Like how do you want this to go today? Is there any more questions you have for me before we start? Because I don't know. Like, you're the director of this one, so you let me know how you want to do this.
Yeah, well, I mean, technically, it's recording the second the phone the phone came in, or the phone second I answered it.
Yeah, cool.
So it's running.
Yeah, dude, you put whatever you want, man.
My whole, like, I guess, niche is I have like, I don't know, it's about like 200 jiu-jitsu listeners.
Okay.
But I tie it into like more of like a mentality standard. Like I like to get into people's like minds. Like not everybody, for you to say, like, you just named off all those businesses, like the church and all the things that you're into. Not a lot of people can either A, handle all that, B, grind it out successfully, or C, like they just don't even know where to start. So that's why I like to look at people's mentalities. It's like, how's this person not quit? How's this person stay hungry? Just like, and everyone's got such a different formula that technically anyone is interesting, dude. You know what I mean? So
I agree.
even though we talk a lot of jiu-jitsu, I like to see like how, how it's not just exactly like this guy goes and stretches people the wrong way, or this guy goes and punches people in the face willingly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's also like this guy is also a grinder, or this person is also, mentally sharp here, or has like a beast mentality over here. And that's my way of trying to make.
With jiu-jitsu and MMA and the martial arts practice, they go hand in hand. They really do. And I think people that get into mixed martial arts of any sort, specifically the grind of jiu-jitsu, it makes you a different person over time. It really builds your character and personality, and really finds out who you are, and humbles you, and you find out who you are real quick. And it's either you stick with it or you don't. The people that stick with jiu-jitsu, 99% of them, because there's always, let's be honest, there's weirdos or douchebags that stick with it, but the 99% it are really good, strong people mentally, because they know if they can do that physically and mentally in jiu-jitsu, other things in life come so much easier.
100%. And I was actually going to ask you if you agree that, especially MMA as well, I mean, you do get like the ego guys and like the douchebags, but for the most part, it weeds out like weak-minded people.
100%.
Like you can't, you'll get a lot of guys who walk into MMA gyms and they're like, yeah, I'm a good street fighter, I'm known for I can fight really good. And then they, put in like maybe a week at the gym and they realize it ain't for them. Like it's a whole different level.
I mean, well, the best thing I love about fighting, one of the best things I love about fighting, is you cannot fake it. It's one of the few things you can't pretend on. And you find out real quick. Anybody, when people come in, and you guys know how it is. You guys have a great gym that you guys train with great people. If you get these people, I don't care what kind of athleticism they have from background, how strong they are, how successful they've been on the street. When they come in and go with one of your smallest guys and get embarrassed, they find out real quick this isn't some fad. This isn't some street fight joke. This is a discipline. This is the greatest thing in the martial art, physical thing you can do, I believe, in the world is jiu-jitsu, not just for its longevity, but what it does for your body and mentality. And like you said, yeah, you got these people all over the world, literally all over the world, that think they know how to fight, that think that they're these strong, good, awesome people. But when they go into these gyms and are with people like us, they either come in and their life truly changes in a great way because they get humbled fast and they get their ego checked, and they're like, man, I never want to feel like this again. I want to train in this, and they become a great new person. Or they leave there knowing that like they're never going to be able to do that, which I think is a whole nother failure in itself. These people that leave and it's too hard for them, and they, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, I praise God for jiu-jitsu, man, because man, does it really show who's really about it and who's not about it. Because like we're talking jiu-jitsu specifically because that's how me and you have been connected. I mean, in the MMA world and jiu-jitsu world, it's like the people that stick it out, the people that get their injuries but keep training with no excuses. They heal, they get back, just like life. In life, you're going to have your hiccups. You're going to get injured in life in some way, not just physically, it's mentally, spiritually, whatever. You got to pick up the pieces and keep progressing and get right back to work and keep becoming a better person every day. And that's what jiu-jitsu is about, is it really irons you out over time. You get injured, you still make class, and you watch and you learn. You have a bad day, you take a deep breath, you get over it, you return and you learn your lesson, and you keep grinding. And what's awesome is you're always going to find people that can put it on you, and you're always going to find people that you can put it on. And that's what the game keeps evolving and just keeps people just, training together.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. And I think that's why I like it so much too, because it, like you said earlier, like you can't fake it.
Right.
So you can come in and run your mouth and stuff, but eventually it's gonna be like you're gonna have to pay for it, or you're gonna have to show it. Um, and like you said, there's like the crazy thing about it too is like you could be a purple belt, brown belt. Well, I can't really speak for brown belt, black belt, but I'm just assuming. But um, whatever level you're at, you could go with another guy that you might be technically better than, but he just has your number and you're the nail. You know what I mean? His
100.
style just destroys you, and you have to learn how to deal with that aggravation. You know?
Correct, bro. And I believe that's always part of the journey. Like I'm a black belt from Maryland and I can put it on. I've trained with all these people from Maryland all the time. But what I like to do is I like to travel to other states, do seminars, but also just jump into other places like where I met you and get on the mat with other people and see what these other people you've never trained with that have no idea who you are. You have no idea who they are. And they test you and they show what theirs are. And you're always able to get better that way. I think any higher belts that stop doing that, they're never going to keep progressing as they should. We know that we've always gotten better by going with people that test us or mess up our rhythm or put it on us or are tricky here or they're this there. And that's a huge thing with jiu-jitsu. It's like you said, you can be higher ranked, you can be more athletic, you can be better, but then maybe a lower belt has a certain game that you're like, oh man, haven't felt that or seen that if ever in a while. And it makes you keep studying, keep practicing, keep your body guessing, keeping your mind going. And that's why I personally love jiu-jitsu, you know?
Oh, it just pisses me off. Like as much as it pisses me off, I love going home pissed and like, man, I got to research something.
Oh man, and it's all love at the end. You know what I'm saying? It's all love. You know, like we said, yeah. There's people that maybe aren't really liked in the community, but we all know who those people are, and we stay away from them. You know what I'm saying? But then for the most of us, it's like, man, nothing's better than getting your butt kicked by somebody that you can still respect, and the opposite of that, kicking people's butt that you still have love for and respect, and you constantly are getting better together. You're high fiving after and saying, "Oh man, can you show me this?" Blah blah blah. If you can put your ego and pride aside in jiu-jitsu, those are going to be the greatest people in jiu-jitsu.
That's a lot of times what I tell white belts when they're brand new and they're all like tense and they're usually worried about losing, so they're so like tense and sporadic. And I'm always like, my biggest advice is just take a deep breath and accept the ass whoopings and just take notes and ask questions. Like ask why my ass is getting whooped.
And bro, one of the things I like to say is, especially at black levels, I guarantee at black belt levels is, I just talk from a black belt's perspective, is we've been tapped out more than anybody. If you really think about it, we already went through all those stages of being tapped out so many times and learning our lessons, and that's part of the grind. So any of your listeners right now that are maybe newer to jiu-jitsu and you're just having your maybe a little downfall here or there, or getting frustrated here and there, just a reminder that your black belt leadership has been tapped out a lot more than you, and that's why they're at the level that they're at.
Yeah, that's a solid point. What
Little
is it?
by little, you get tapped
A
out.
white belt or a black belt's a white belt who
Never quit.
Never quit. Yep.
And that's the thing, bro. They say, I know Gracie's did what's it called? Had statistics. They did a little data analysis years ago, and it was like 80% of people that start jujitsu get their 80% of people that start jujitsu quit before they get their blue belt. So 20% of people that are signing up for jiu-jitsu get their blue belt. Of that 20%, maybe 1% actually is earning their black belt in years to go. So that shows you, truly the drop-off rate in this art and why you have to have so much dedication and discipline. And like you talk about it on your podcast, your mind has to be sharpened to get through the negative things that are going to be telling you, oh, you should quit, or, oh, this is too hard on your body, or this is too hard on your mind, or man, you keep getting your butt whooped, how embarrassed. You got to put that crap to the side, because and I think that's why there's a lot of respect for, especially for purple, brown, and black belts in jiu-jitsu, because, these are the people that have made it through far and are going to continue the length of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a known thing. You go to any school and you see the purple belts, the brown belts, the black belts, and you just automatically got mad respect for who they are, because you're like, oh, you've been through the fire, man. I'll be seeing you down the road. We don't know really about these white and blue belts, but hey, we know I'll see your face again. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I agree with you 100%. And switching roles a little bit.
Yeah.
I see you're running for governor in Maryland?
Yes, that's correct. I am the unaffiliated. That means I belong to no political party, bro. I'm the unaffiliated candidate. I have past primaries. I'm in the general election. I'm the youngest person at 35 years old to ever be in the general election for governor of Maryland.
Congrats.
And thank you, man. So I've been screwed over both by Democrats and Republicans. I'm a father. I'm a Christian. I'm a business owner. I'm somebody who believes in the Constitution. I believe in my rights, my God-given rights above all. And overall, bro, especially the last 3 years, I have been screwed. They tried to make me close my gym. I said no. I stayed open. They tried to battle me. They showed up 6 times with the health department to try to shut me down. I said no. Bring it. We went to court. They did not show up because they knew if I won, it would set precedent, not just in Maryland, but the United States. So they just backed off and said, leave Kyle alone. Other ways they pested me was what they tried to do to my kids in school. I'm a health guy, bro. I know health very good. I'm not putting stuff on my children's face. I don't like what they're teaching in schools. It's all over the place, bro. It doesn't take a smart person to realize that the world is going crazy. So I pulled my kids out. I'm homeschooling them. They're grades ahead now because I pulled them out 3 years ago. They're grades ahead of all these other kids now. They're just passing fast because bottom line is this. The last 3 years is where the reason I'm running. I'm running because I realized nobody was there to help me. Nobody was there, bro. When things were popping off, both Republicans and Democrats screwed me. They were weak. They're all talk. They say like, oh, the bird needs both wings. The Republicans and Democrats are those wings. They need each other, and they're always going to win the game of control. It's what it is. People can say, oh man, this guy sounds like a conspiracy. I'm somebody who has literally gone to court against the government. I'm somebody that's literally in the general election for governor of Maryland. I know very well politics. I did the county council thing in Montgomery County, Maryland. I've been involved with politics for years now. And bottom line is I'm running for governor. And of course, I got both monsters against me, both Republicans and Democrats. They want to see me burn. And you know what? That's what I live for, man. I'm a fighter, and I fight for what's right. That's straight up what it is. And I'm the kind of guy that will give my life for it, literally give my life for it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. That's where I'm at, because a lot of people talk about it, bro. A lot of people talk about it. Look at social media. A lot of people talk the talk, but when it comes down to doing things, no one does anything. They just make posts and they think you're doing something. I'm doing something about it. Does that make sense?
Oh, 100%, dude. And you seem like a very likable guy. I mean, I just met you on a Monday morning, and you're already doing a podcast for me.
Yeah, bro. Thank you.
Giving me your time, which is very much appreciated, dude. I can't tell you how much that means to me. And
yeah.
That's like a solid perspective on running that, like, I don't know how someone could argue. I'm obviously you're gonna have and that's gonna be a hell of a battle. I kind of wanted to get into, but like, it's just like a perspective. It's like, okay, I'm fighting for what I think is right, family, God, like, our country.
Correct.
And it's hard. It's, to me, it's like, how could people?
Listen, if you think about it, bro, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm gonna go right off of what you're saying. This is what I think. If you are a small business owner, who better to protect you and fight for you than someone who has had small business since he was 17 years old? If you are a health enthusiast and you want healthy life in Maryland, who better to represent you than a health nut? If you are a parent, who better to represent you than a parent who has been through all these battles? If you are somebody who believes in God, your creator, who better to serve you than someone who professes Jesus' name out loud, not afraid to say it in politics? Oh, but Kyle, you can't, you don't want to get, trust me, you don't want to get, put God in there too much. But I'm going to say Jesus, bro, because I'm not fake. I speak the truth. And so this is what I'm saying, man. I am not ever going to sugarcoat things. I'm going to be real. And I always do what I say. If people look into me and what I've done over the years, I know you've looked into me a little bit, Kevin, but I always do what I say. If I fail at it, guess what? I learn from it, and then I go even harder the next time, just like I do in my fights, bro. I learn from my lessons and get right back into it. So if that's what you want, I'm your candidate. I'm that person. I'm never going to lie. I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to get stuck in scandals. My life is clean. I love my life. I'm going to continue to live it the way I'm living, but I want to fight for something big, and what better than for my family? And what I mean by family is all of our families that are truly just want a good life and with our own rights, and stop letting the government truly dictate what's going on here. Because just to your listeners, life is not going to get like better, you guys. Like, the government's not going to all of a sudden be like, you know what, let's go back to just like everybody kind of chill and do what they want. You know what I'm saying? It's going to get more and more unstable, weirder and weirder, sicker things. Evil is going to keep pushing. There's no doubt about it. So I'm trying to do all I can to get in there. And if I have to scream at the rooftops like I'm doing, because I got to get the attention, I got to make sure people know who I am. And if I am elected, it's going to continue that way. If I mess up on something, I'm going to openly say, yo, I messed up. This is how I'm going to fix it. But I'm going to be that person that I think really represents people finally. Like there's nobody who represents me right now in any part of the government. I'm being straight up. I don't care if you say you're Republican or Democrat. I'm very strong Christian conservative, but that doesn't mean like I'm like, oh, go Republicans. They have screwed me the same way and they're playing the same game. So I'm trying to mess all that up, at least be a disruption for them, at least call it out for what it is, you know?
Oh, that's awesome. And how dirty does it get? Like it's got to be a dirty game and a hard game.
Yeah, so bro, I mean, I've done small business. I've been in, a pro fighter. I've been a DJ that ran an entertainment company and through all kinds of different types of events in the community. I have a nonprofit, a 501c3. So I've been involved in all the different types of politics in that game. But it all prepared me for the greatest monster there is, and that is the true government politics. It is as dirty as you think, plus more. Dude, they get away with lying. They don't worry about anything anymore. They can get away with whatever they want because they're at that top tier. Does that make sense? They're at that so they can lie to your faces. They can manipulate so well. That's their game. It truly is. And I had to see it for myself because I don't just want to call people something or claim things if I don't know it for the truth. So I literally jumped in it myself to see it for real. And it really is that fake. It really is that deceitful. It really is that dirty. They've already done smear videos. They burned me. They sent stuff in. If you watch like Jimmy Kimmel, if you watch Stephen Colbert, they've had me on the show, literally putting my face and name and just burning me, bro. Deep down, I'm like, heck yeah, bro. I love being. That's how big of a threat I am right now. They're gonna put me on that show and like just try to burn me. That just shows me that I'm a threat to them. It helps me. But I'm telling you, that's what they do to people. They try to bury them. They try to ruin them, even on the early stages of their fight. You know what I'm saying? So
I gotta pause you real quick just because I'll forget. But what you just said is just like a testament to kind of like what my podcast is about, because a lot of people, if they would have seen their face on Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, and just seen the burn, it would have discouraged them. It would have it would have hurt. Who knows how people would handle? But you looked at it like as in like that's how threatened you guys feel, and you turned it into a win or a motivator. And I just wanted to note that for the listener. Like that's kind of why I like to have have people on and dive into like what they do and what they're passionate about.
Correct. Like there's a lot of people listening in, brother, and maybe they have people in the community making fun of them or saying things about them or just trying to mess up their flow because those people deep down are envious or hate or have hatred toward them. And it does get most people in life. People just don't want to speak up about things because they're worried about what other people think. One of the best things I ever learned was not to care what any human thinks, but what God thinks of me. That's it. When you have that perspective and you know the truth that like flesh doesn't matter. Like stop worrying about what other people think of you. What is the truth about who you are and what you're able to do and what you enjoy and what you are gifted in, and go after that 100%. And if you're doing it right, you're going to have people talking trash. You're going to have people trying to ruin that. Especially the devil's going to use as many people as he can use to destroy the great things that are coming for you. All he wants you to do is quit. If you quit, you never had it. And we can go back to the jiu-jitsu analogy where it's like, man, if you just keep going, you'll eventually get that black belt. It's the truth. It's the same thing with business or other hobbies or other things that you want to be successful at in life. All you have to do is not quit, because you're either going to win eventually or you're going to learn. I never say lose. You're never going to lose. You either win or you learn. Those losses, those failures that you can look at it that way, those are opportunities to learn where you messed up, fix it, and get back to work and never mess up that way again. Does that make sense?
100%. That's what it's that's actually a term I've been using a lot as well. Is like, you don't win. I did like a little episode on like tournament genders because we had like a lot of newer guys in the gym who were competing for the first time, and I just started this project, so I'm like, well, why not like do a little quick pep talk on competing and how, because you know how the nerves are the first time you either fight or compete. It's worse than the fight itself, and that's one of the things I was kind of telling everybody is, or point I was getting across is like, you either win or you have an opportunity to learn.
And it's the truth, bro. And you always come out of it evolved, even on the loss. You were, first of all, let's just look at it from people that are maybe getting nervous about competing in something they have coming up, specifically jiu-jitsu, because I know you have a lot of jiu-jitsu listeners. Listen, you're doing something that most people would never do. They would never put their reputation on the line, risking to lose to another human being they care so much about how it might look, or if they lose in a jiu-jitsu match, they're a failure. It's totally wrong. You're thinking wrong. You are awesome for getting in there and stepping up and doing everything you can to compete and see how you are. You're not a failure at all, no matter if you win or lose. Get out there, test yourselves, then get back to work. Get out there again, test yourselves, get back to work, and it's going to just iron you out and create you into another person every single time. Like that's what I love. I love when my students go compete, because they go compete and I'm like, listen, I don't care how you do. I want you to get that win. I want you to try to get that win with everything you got. But if you lose, you are doing something that not just most people don't do, but even most people that train in jiu-jitsu don't even go do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just go do it. You're gonna and you are gonna be thankful no matter what. And with my students, and I know your guys' too, we got good people, man. So they're not gonna go out there and embarrass themselves and be tapped out in 0.1 second and look all silly. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna put up a little fight, feel it out, and then from that point on, you have now evolved. You have now felt what it was. If you did great, great. But if you didn't do well, why didn't you do well? Let's fix it and get back to work.
What's harder, like sitting down and campaign game planning, or fight campaign or campaigning, fight planning, like, strategizing?
So I would say, I mean, when you say harder, physically, obviously fighting, because I cut 30 pounds, for my fights. I fought at 155,
Jeez.
170, 185. I even did a 205-pound fight. I'll explain that later, but I'm a 170 dude. But I walk around at 195, 200, so I cut pretty good. And so and then I train hard. Like, bro, I feel like I'm going to war to give my life every time. I don't play around. If it's a fight, it's a fight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So physically, definitely is the fighting, but both preparing for a fight and doing and running for like governor, it's both mentally pretty draining as well. When I say draining, I don't mean I'm walking around like, oh, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it puts a lot on me, because it's constantly, I have to be learning, studying, realizing what are opponents doing, what are they doing. I don't get caught up in the crap. I stay focused straight, but I still have to know my opponents. Does that make sense?
100. Yeah, and that's where I was
on top
wondering.
of that is big. I can't really compare. I believe fighting truly helped me prepare for these things, but I'm not gonna. This is a whole nother level on that in a political world. It's like this. Let me just put it this way. If I try to beat the current governor of Maryland and the other person who's running, because it's a Republican, a Democrat, and me, makes sense. That's in the general election. Okay. So if I try to beat them at their game of politics that they own and they have owned for whenever, I'm going to lose. That's like me going against I feel very strong in Muay Thai. I feel good in Jiu-Jitsu, but wrestling, I would say, is my weakest, okay? That's like me going against a wrestler and trying to wrestle him. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick to a whole nother game that I feel is best. And more importantly, what the truth is about me and what I'm good at. I'm not going to pretend to be something. So that's just the best way to put it. Fighting and running for governor are very similar in the point that it takes a lot out of you. You're always thinking about it. But over the years, because I've done this so long, I mean, I've been fighting since I was 17, 18 years old. I'm 35 now. I've developed skills that I really believe that God's like planted in me. Dude, I still enjoy my life. I actually love my life more than ever now, man, to be honest with you. So I'm able to have a peace that I'm doing the right thing, because here's the thing. If I start doing the political crap and trying to be deceitful and burn other people and talk crap about the other people that are running and try to burn, I get caught up in that game, and that destroys people, and that's of the devil. It's not of me, bro. So I just stay living correctly, being that person I'm claiming to be, being that a nonprofit owner, being that business owner, being that father, being that husband, being that good person in the community that people can come to regardless of win or losing. Because after this election, I'm not going to change. I'm going to be the same person, if not better. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and you might end up getting like a lot of like secret voters that way. maybe people who won't publicly go out and say like, "Oh, I'm voting for Kyle," but maybe people who are like at home with no influence around them, because a lot of people are weak-minded like that.
So I will say this for your listeners as well. So two big things that I did in the last 3 years that got me a lot more credibility with the nation and a lot more visibility with the nation is two things. One, I led the Defeat the Mandates walk in DC that had 17,000 people. So we had 17,000 people show up to DC for a march. Does that make sense? So last year, not this year, last year we did Defeat the Mandates March DC. If you look it up on YouTube, Kyle Sefcik, Defeat the Mandates March DC. It was last March, and that was the biggest one to date that's happened. Does that make sense? So that gave me a lot of credibility. I was on the Bannon show, The War Room, which has millions of followers. They put it on Hannity, they put it on Tucker, so that helped me big time. OAN, Fox, all whatever. But then I also brought the Freedom Convoy, the American Freedom Convoy, to my state, Hagerstown. That's why they stopped at Hagerstown, as I helped lead that as well. I put that together. And that's why they tried to burn me the first time with like Stephen Colbert and what's his name, Jimmy Kimmel, and basically all the left, bro. It wasn't just that. I'm just naming some bigger names, but they tried to burn it because we were trying to do something just to create some kind of like let people know, because bro, like we don't want to make it a physical thing, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's be honest. We were old school. We go straight to physical and pull these people out. We want to just make a statement first, and that was by doing these marches, these protests, which get attention. Not that they work. It's not going to change the people's mind. It's just to show, hey, we're here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're here, right, just so you know. So I pulled a permit called this for the State of the Union address. I was the only person in the world to have the permit for the National Mall last year on the State of the Union address. And I'm talking, bro, they interrogated me with 13 different, alphabet letters, agencies, CIA, FBI, blah, blah, blah. And they literally, dude, I'm not even gonna get into that right now, but that was the craziest things that's ever happened in my life, because they finally came after me big time, not just with the health department at my gym, but how they like literally had me come to DC and like literally be interrogated. And then they showed up to my event on the National Mall with running deep. They closed off roads so that the Freedom Convoy couldn't come into the nation's capital. It got that big where I realized, oh man, I'm that threat. And I enjoy being that threat. I love being a threat against evil. I think especially as men, bro, in this world, we're meant to step up and protect. And like I told you before, I have no problem giving my reputation, if not my life, for the greater thing, because we are warriors at heart. We're made for this. That's why we enjoy fighting. That's why we enjoy learning how to protect others and being physical, is because we are meant for this overall. Make sense?
Oh yeah. And what's like the first step to start? Like, how did you influence so many people to join?
So one, I was literally announcing since 2020, right? March 2020, when they tried closing everything down. I said, guys, something's not right. I'm staying open. Those of you who want to keep training at my gyms, please keep coming. I'm going to keep doing my events. Like, I kept doing my events because I'm a nonprofit. So I do like a lot of events for kids, adults, camps, all kinds of stuff. All right. So I kept doing it while everybody else is locked up, closing their doors, hiding inside because the government told them to, wearing masks. I did everything the opposite of that. I stayed open, and not just like secretly stayed open. I'm publicly saying, guys, listen, until I start seeing things and for myself and really hearing for real from people I trust, I can't trust this. So I stayed up. So people from the start was like, dude, this guy's crazy, man, he's going against it. But little by little, people are like, dude, Kyle, there's more and more people joining Kyle's gym, and they're becoming healthier than ever, while everybody's hiding inside, getting drunk, doing drugs, listening to the government, watching every TV show. And I'm staying open, and we're getting healthier, and I'm doing events, and people are coming at me still, right? People hated to see that I was still living free, bro. I was still living free. And so I picked up a lot of traction, not just from haters, but from people that were about it as well. People are like, man, dude, I like what this guy's doing. But when I say haters, a lot of them turned because over the years, I turned out to be correct. It was correct the whole entire time. Make sense?
I'm so glad we didn't have to deal with that kind of crap here very much. Like,
yeah, I want to say that real fast before you finish that. You guys have a great state, one of the greatest states. I do really respect your governor. I do. People can say what they want about him. I respect him. I think he's one of the greatest governors, if not the best governor in the United States. I want to make that very clear. And you guys have had it right most of the time and good. And you guys are looked at from other states, especially where I'm from, as a great, amazing state. It's why other people, even politicians, are flying to your state. And when things were crazy, it's because you guys have the greatest state.
Oh,
Like,
I'm
seriously,
very lucky.
these last 3 years, man, it's not just about like the sunshine and the water. You guys have been living truly free while social media and news tried to burn you guys early, right? Like they tried to make
Right.
it, and you guys saw it for yourself. You're like, dude, this is lies, dude. You know, like we got to see. That's one of the best things about these past 3 years. We got to see how much social media and Fox and CNN. That's both sides. They're all liars, dude. To twist to what they want.
It's crazy because we're such a tourist like area, and you get a lot of people. Like we were getting a lot of people who were like flying here or driving here, kind of running here, and so you get like a mixed pot of like the whole country, and like hearing what people are telling us their state is like telling them on the news about like our state, and none of it was like even close to reality, and that's when I was just like shaking my head, like, well, I'm glad you made it, because if you listen to everything you were told, you'd be getting sicker, in my opinion.
No, 100, dude. You said it perfectly. You're exactly right, and that's one of the greatest things about this whole last 3 years that we got to see. So many people had their eyes opened for real of who the government really is, of who these people really are. And when I say government, I'm talking like media too, man. Like it's just I've learned to just flush that out, and as always, we should find things out for ourselves, and that's going back to why I kept everything open. And I was in the streets while everybody's locked up. I'm driving around and there's nobody on the roads, bro. It was literally like end of days, it felt like. And I'm just telling people, yo, and I'm calling my doctors, I'm calling NIH, I'm calling my people I know, and I'm like, dude, tell me something that I can just trust you on. And it just wasn't happening. Like it wasn't there, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And to this day, people are like, oh, yeah. I mean, and people know if they fell for it or not. I just know that God put it on my heart to stay strong during that time, and I did.
Yeah, and I'm glad you did, man. And I'm glad you're such a fighter that, you just keep grinding in the direction that you see is right. And it's making a difference. It's cool. It's cool to see like how, you can just influence people by, staying true to yourself. And it seems like the momentum is against that right now, but who knows? Tides switch. Momentum might switch the other way, or like you said, or to our earlier points, like it might just become a giant lesson for everybody. Like we don't want that again.
You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. I would love to this be a giant lesson again, but like I said, man, unless there's a huge dramatic shift in our current government, I'm not preparing for a better life right now. Does that make sense? I'm not preparing things to get better. I'm preparing for much the opposite. This is coming from listen, bro. I'm a strong rooted Christian in the Bible. I'm obsessed with the Bible every single day. I run a Bible study. This is what I love to do, man. I'm in a worship band. I just love the Bible. And if you read Revelation, you will see that word for word, everything is playing out exactly how it says in Revelation. It's the last book of the Bible for those of you who don't know. Revelation, just read it. And you're going to say, wow, this is literally everything that's happened. And there's only a couple things left. So I'm preparing for what's to come. You know what I'm saying? But I enjoy life because, one, I know where I'm going when I die, bro. And two, I'm doing what's right. And when you're living correctly, when you're truly living correctly with what's right, life is good because you know you're doing the right thing, regardless if it's like, man, I want to do that. I know it's wrong, but you're still living correctly. Or like, and I say that it's not just about not sinning. It's also about going after the things you want. There's people listening right now like, man, I want to be better at this, or I want to start a business, or I want to go do that. Go do it. Go do it. If you needed a sign today, there's your sign. Go do it. Figure it out and go do it.
I love it, dude. I love the energy. Man, you caught me off guard. I'm like, what am I getting into today? And I love the energy, and it makes sense as to how you can handle all this stuff being and for the listeners, like this guy's like, as I seen on your thing, you're doing like a Bible study tour, you're doing a seminar tour, you're also running for governor, and you're keeping your social media current, and you stopped into our gym randomly to train just to get some jiu-jitsu in.
Absolutely.
Because you drove 11 hours. Is that what you said?
Yeah, absolutely, bro. That's why when we were grappling, I'm like trying to wake up my body so that I could have some blood flow. You know what I'm saying?
I knew exactly what you're doing when you closed your guard and you started shaking your arms out, and I'm like, oh, he's got some buildup, some lactic acid
Oh
buildup.
my gosh, dude. But no, it felt great. And you're right. So I call this a Jesus and Jiu-Jitsu tour. You probably saw that flyer. So
Yeah,
me
that's
and
cool.
I play. I love music, man. I love singing for the Lord. So I stop at different places, whether it's a rehab center, whether it's a certain church, whether it's a boardwalk, and we play at certain spots that we kind of, I don't want to say booked for. I'm not some performer, bro, trying to be somebody cool. You know, I'm really just trying to go really sing, you know, to the Lord what he wants me to sing about. So I call it the Jesus and Jiu-Jitsu tour. So I'm doing what I love. Like you said, man, God's put me in that position of, from living and doing what's right. He's put me in a position to where I can literally go on this trip from, we started in Kentucky, then we went to Tennessee, then we went to South Carolina, then we went to Georgia. Now I'm in Florida. So I'm able to do what I love, play music, be with my family. I take my family everywhere. For those of you who don't know, I have a beautiful Brazilian wife and I have two boys. One is 8 years. One just turned 8, one just turned 6, and I have another son on the way next month. And I
Congrats.
take them everywhere, bro. I just go everywhere with them. We just pack the truck up and we just hit the road, man. And I truly love my life because of it. And I know that back home, the nonprofit, my businesses, they're ran because of years and years of grinding. I'm talking like grinding and hustling and dealing with huge setbacks, but not quitting and building back up. And now it's at the point where I can leave and know that I can trust people back home taking care of it while I'm not there. Man, what a blessing, you know?
Yeah. Have you done jiu-jitsu in Maryland your whole time? Is that where you got your black belt, or?
So I actually got my first belt, believe it or not, from Hoist Gracie, bro. When I started when I was 17, jiu-jitsu was just getting big. Hoist Gracie,
Ooh.
North Carolina area, and he started traveling to Maryland and having like affiliate schools. So I got started early. I actually started with Krav Maga, and then the owner was like, "Listen, bro, we're under this guy named Hoist Gracie, and we have jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai and MMA. You should probably do more of that. You're the youngest kid we have here." I mean, dude, this is literally 17, 18 years ago, man. Think about that.
That's
So,
crazy.
so I got into it real early to where I'm doing Krav Maga, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu daily, and then I didn't know. Okay, Hoist Gracie, cool. I mean, I guess he fights on. I had no idea how big of a deal it was at the time. So then so over the years, I got to train with all types of people, being all types of camp, from Sean Shirk to BJ Penn to all these different things, going around young. And then I eventually got my black belt in Brazil because I was doing Brazil trips as well, and they awarded me my black belt in Brazil. Rickson Gracie and Professor Sauer. Professor Sauer is my lead. Professor Sauer is who I give my allegiance to, but we're directly under Rickson right now as well because that's who Professor Sauer decided to be under when Grandmaster Helio died. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, I was awarded literally from Rickson Gracie and Professor Sauer in Brazil at the Posada, like where they were raised and trained under. Make sense?
Big flex, man. Big flex.
They rung Helio Gracie's bell that he used to ring when it was time to come to train. They rang it, you know what I'm saying, for me to come. It was like a great experience that, I mean, I was just like, wow, like what a cherry on top, you know what I'm saying?
So and you met one of our brand new black belts when you came in on Sunday. You rolled with him, I think, after me, Zach.
Yeah. Zach's awesome, man. Great.
So how was that feeling of getting your black belt? Is it like a feeling of like this is just another day, or is it a feeling as if like I'm ready for the next step?
It's this. I'll tell you, this is what personally, I'm sure other black belts feel the same. It's like, one, it's like, I can't believe it's here. I can't believe it's gotten to here. I remember as a white belt thinking about quitting. I remember as a blue belt thinking about quitting or stopping or going to do other things. I remember as a purple belt, like the grind. I remember as a brown. I knew it would maybe get here one day, but I can't believe it's here, and it's here. And then you're getting it. And then if you're a good black belt and you understand jiu-jitsu as you should, you know there is still, the game is evolving. You got a lot more to learn. And if you're going to put a black belt on your body as a jiu-jitsu practitioner, you better be able to represent that black belt, because there's two types of black belts. There's a legit Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt, and there's a not legit Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt. It's the truth, man.
Yeah.
It's the truth. You know what I'm saying? So I always want to be that one that like that dude grapples. He doesn't care. He comes in here and grapples. He doesn't care about if people are going to like say this or that, or if he gets tapped or this or that. I am always going to be that guy on the mat, not just teaching, but grappling as well, because you never want to lose. You always want to, you never want to lose what you have. And also you always want to keep learning and staying up to par. So like when I got to grapple with you and your other guys, and then your other black belt, Zach, it's constant learning, feeling other bodies and literally progressing.
And you were saying that too. And bro, I felt like a tournament round because I came in from like just waking up and I walk on the mat and I'm like, of course I'm going with the black belt here. But it was a fun round for sure.
It was a good time, man. You guys gave me a lot of good rounds. I got a good, like, solid, 6 5-minute rounds, 6 whatever. It felt great, man. It's exactly what I needed. And I'm actually probably going to see you guys Wednesday night.
That's cool. And I encourage anyone who was there on Sunday that didn't roll with you to,
Yeah, so we did gi with you on Sunday. I'm going to do no gi with you on Wednesday. I think you're going to see my game's totally elevated no gi. It's what I'm most confident in, to be honest with you. I believe both play together. You should want to and want to do both and love both. But for me, if I was to go put my if I was to go compete heavy in something, especially MMA because it's no gi, but if I was supposed to do no gi is where I'm going to put my money on. Makes sense?
You were good in gi though. I mean, you kept like all points of contact. Like you always had as many points of contact on me as you possibly could. Like every position we were in, like you weren't leaving many gaps. So I'm excited to see that no gi game as well.
Well,
even Zach said he's like, I could tell he was a no gi guy just by how he was rolling.
You know what? You're right. Higher level people recognize those things. Like when we're talking about this right now, some people are like, what are they even talking about? You guys recognize it, and I appreciate you guys. And like I said, I appreciate the roles, man. It was good. It felt so good to just get in there and just get the cobwebs off from being in the car so long. And now I'm warmed up, and we're gonna have some fun.
Let's do it. And I don't want to eat up your Sunday or your sunny day. It's not Sunday. It's like Tuesday. But I do appreciate your time, man. And for anyone listening, take this dude as a just like a motivation to grind, not give up, don't cry over your losses. And I mean, dude, like you can feel the energy. I could feel the energy just from talking to you. That it's just like a no bullshit, straight to the point, and get it done and chase your goals type of dude. And those are really respectable people.
I'll say this to you as we get off. The battlefield is in your mind. It's straight up. And I know you like this, what you talk about on your podcast a lot. So for me, being so rooted in the Bible, it talks about the battlefield literally is in your mind. It always starts in your head. How you think, how you perceive, look at things, how you truly think about things is how you're going to determine your actions, how your flesh is going to act, how your body's going to react, how you're going to make a decision on something. It all starts in your mind. If you have negative thoughts, if you are thinking the bad way, if you are looking at things the wrong way, it's not going to turn out good ever. You have to focus on the truth. And the truth is, man, life is good. And if you truly work hard at something, if you truly put everything you can 100% into something, it's impossible to fail. It's impossible to fail at something you give 100% to. So in everything you do, you give it all you got and watch the reward. You're going to win a lot. And then on the little losses, you're going to learn from it and then keep winning even more.
And I appreciate that. And throw your plugs out there so people can come look you up.
Oh, absolutely, man. So my name is Kyle Sefcik, Kyle. Last name is Sefcik. You can find me literally YouTube, Rumble, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Look me up, Twitter, whatever you want. But I have a show called The Sefcik Show as well. You saw that, Kevin.
Oh, yeah.
The Sefcik Show is a podcast that we just started 4 months ago. Not to take your viewers away from your awesome show, but if you guys want to check that out also, maybe Kevin could come to Maryland and be on our show live or something. And then I have MMA and Sport in Maryland. If you guys are ever in Maryland, look up MMA and Sport. And if you do jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, boxing, wrestling, any of that, you come in, say, hey, I heard you on the show, and you jump in as family. You just jump in, have a good time at the gym. Other than that, I have KSEF Productions, KSEF Productions. We do branding, we do marketing, we do all that good stuff. And those of you that just, are about the Lord, man, just look me up just anywhere on Google, and you'll see where we're at next, playing music and preaching a little bit.
Yeah, and if you have any extra shirts in like a size large, or if I need to order one, let me know. But if you have any extra with you, bring it on
Yeah.
Wednesday and I'll buy it off you.
Bro, that sounds amazing. I appreciate your support. I'm definitely going to bring you one because I just got them in while I was here in Florida. I actually had them shipped to
Nice.
Florida, so I got them here in Florida. And of course, I'll hook you up, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
Awesome, dude. Well, you have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, my man. I'll see you soon. Hey, I'll see you. Hey, I'll see you later, Kevin. I'll see you Wednesday.
Okay, awesome.
See you, bro.
I think the podcast is fucking sick. If you're listening to it and you're like, I don't know if I want to listen to the next episode of this podcast, you're probably a bitch ass. You need to listen to the next episode of this podcast and keep listening to it. Because my friends down here are trying to make shit happen. And we're going to make some shit happen.